Welcome to the Future Drought Fund Science to Practice Forum.
Through the Future Drought Fund, the Australian Government has established drought resilience hubs to give farmers in rural and regional communities the tools they need to transform their businesses and communities to be more resilient to our increasingly drier climate.
When droughts have hit in the past, of course, the government has helped people who need help, but this is about getting ahead of the game and targeting so many areas, working collaboratively across different parts of the industry, different parts of the community and the landscape.
What we are taught as Indigenous people is that when we're born into this world, we are told to be observational. So the elders have taught us to look up in the sky, down in the ground, and to look at what the environment is sharing with us as we live in a coexistence.
We certainly already have brought together a number of partners into this hub that before we actually started discussing putting the bid together have not traditionally worked with each other. So I think the Future Drought Fund Hub program has already had a success up here.
One hub down, 7 to go.
The main hub of it is in the James Cook University Ideas Lab in Cairns, which covers the wet tropics, but we also have nodes and we'll have people and activities on the ground.
We see that working with the hub members and the key people in those regions around what's going to work for how the business and communities operate in that area is going to be absolutely critical in the success of the activities of this hub. But we also think that there might be some things that do go across that geographic area that's common that we can work together across, and that we think will extend across the country.
So the issues will be specific and seen as specific by individual businesses and individual communities. So I think the solutions have to emerge from that space, and we will help to facilitate that through working with our extension officers.
I think over the course of the next few years, what we'll start to see is far more conversations that are going to happen within communities and far more listening going on that will then drive action that's really relevant to them.
We don't want the hubs to start duplicating. We've got to all talk together. We've got to speak to our RDCs. We've got to speak to our local research organisations, universities, governments, etc. And we work out who's going to go next.
If we're looking at the bigger, broader end goal, it's about the health, wellbeing and nutrition of our communities.
It's very real when farmers are in the depth of drought, and it's no different to anywhere else.
How can you have a system where you can ensure that you don't fall for the trick that bedevils so many community organisations, where it falls on a handful of people to carry the load? Because ultimately the work you're doing in the hubs is going to benefit the many rather than the few. I don't know if you can speak to that, Kathy?
I always think a problem shared is a problem halved. And which is one reason when we bring all our partners together that, what they bring to this hub is their diverse networks. And that's how we work so that, we don't get these single point dependencies.
There's no doubt that Australia for decades has been absolutely world-class in a lot of our research, particularly through CSIRO and the universities. But I think most of us would say we haven't always commercialised that well. We also, and there's a range of studies that reinforce this, we don't tend to collaborate particularly well. And so there's some of the challenges that the Innovation Hub gives us an opportunity to focus on and do better.
Historically, when we've been dealing with drought, we deal with the community or the farming sector, and we don't often bring those collaborative solutions together.
We'll be working together, node to node, and with the statewide partners for a continuous flow of information.
One of the things that will set us up well is the concept of trying to build our hub around the rainfall zones, and that means that we've got producers and groups who are battling similar problems. What I'd like to see is for us to continue to move that stewardship of the land that our farmers have developed through new practices to the point where we actually don't get these issues when drought hits.
I know it's been a bit of a rocky ride for all the hubs in where they're going to be and how they're going to deliver their presentations, but you have brought the hub presentations to a fantastic finale. Go well, and thanks for your time today.
Thank you.